These people sound whacked and religious. What's up, guys? It's Devin Harrington, the average Gen Xer, and welcome back to my channel, where today we're taking a look at some stories written by people on the Regretful Parents sub who say that having kids is a trap. Now, please remember, as always, I don't read these posts in order to shame or mock or hate on regretful parents in any way. I make this content simply to serve as a cautionary tale and to encourage the normalization of people really thinking about whether or not they want to have kids in the 21st century, particularly in America. So let's get to it. But first, if you love animals, on every video on this channel, I encourage all animal lovers, please consider checking out the website for your local animal rescue or shelter and see how easy it is to foster or volunteer on site for your local animal shelter. This is Goldie. She doesn't like the camera. She's an 8-month-old Belgian Shepherd who is available for adoption, and she is my current foster. So please, if you love animals, help save the world. Do it for them. Thanks. Okay, so first post here is by user Harry Novel 1446, and she said, "I probably ruined my life." Well, ma'am, I can confirm you indeed have, if you're talking about the fact that you had a kid. This is venting advice welcome. I've been on this Reddit since I heard about it, as I searched for people who felt like me. Sorry in advance if my English is bad, but I'm not a native speaker. Ma'am, your English is perfection. Since I became pregnant by my own carelessness, I must clarify, I feel that my life is totally ruined. Everyone told me that as my pregnancy continues, I would learn to love the baby. Yeah, there you go. Just more bullshit that people tell women to get them to have kids. This woman knew she didn't want kids. She felt her life was ruined when she found out she was pregnant. Now, she doesn't say what country's she's in. However, even though there are many, many countries where abortion is illegal, let's face the fact that abortion is basically like a gun. If you really, really, really want one, you'll find a way to get it, legal or not. And let's also remember that women have been ridding themselves of unwanted pregnancies through natural means, herbal and such, for tens of thousands of years. So I just say all that because I wish she would have known that. I wish she would have tried to change her circumstances. Anyway, she goes on, but I have 15 days left before I turn 9 months, and I still feel the same. I am 22 years old. Oh my God. I know 22 is like legal to do everything. You legally are an adult, but we know now, and especially, nowadays, people are young longer. We live longer. It's harder to get established in life these days. 22, you're a child. You don't even know who you are. And yet you're going to bring another person into the world and just expect that your instincts are going to kick in. That's why we have so many fucked up people walking around, okay? She goes on. I always looked forward to graduating from college, to finally be able to work, go out with friends, and have a totally different life because I have suffered a lot throughout my childhood and adolescence, and I wanted to start living. I can relate to that statement. I was already achieving it. I had found a job, I was earning fairly well, and it helped me raise my self-esteem. And I was even managing to leave my toxic 5-year-old relationship. She's only 22. She's been with this guy since she was 17. I felt better about myself, like my life was getting better. But as it always happens to me when I'm happy, everything was ruined. In this case, when I got pregnant. I went from being independent and with many dreams to depending on the person who harmed me for many years and to living in my mother's house. I was again a girl whom they scold and all my autonomy was lost. I felt very bad, and throughout my pregnancy, I did nothing but cry because my life was ruined. The worst. I never wanted to be a mother. I do not like children. I do not like the role of housewife, and I definitely never saw myself in this situation. And yet, ma'am, you admit that you are pregnant because of your own carelessness. So we all know where babies come from. Not one person on this earth can say they didn't realize that having sex would possibly lead to pregnancy. She says, it's crazy, but I still feel like a teenager. Yeah, because you essentially are. I don't see myself taking care of another human when I don't even know how to take care of myself. And it's not that I feel a grudge toward the baby, because I think maybe in another situation I wouldn't be hit so hard. But knowing that I'll have it with someone who hurt me and that I lost the opportunity to finally enjoy my life, it makes me miserable and unhappy. You still can be free and enjoy your life. There are couples just waiting for a newborn. That can totally be arranged. She goes on, I constantly think about what would happen if I had not become pregnant. And I'm sure that if adoption is out of the question for her, it's probably a family thing. I know I can't complain because it was my mistake. And for that reason, I couldn't interrupt it for fear. But I still feel very bad for myself and for the baby because I know he deserves to be wanted and expected. And I can't give him any of that. I remember that on the first ultrasound, the only thing I could think of was that that thing was really inside me. And I can't call him my son either because I don't feel that way. I can only call him the baby. I don't know if it will change when he is born. No, it will not change when he is born. There is no freaking magic spell that comes over you. If you don't want children, if you don't like children, you're still going to not want them and not like them when you're holding your newborn in your arms, when they put the baby on your chest and you're crying because of the rush of giving birth. That's not the case for everyone. And why women in this day and age will believe magical thinking like that is just really sad. So sad. Such a waste of this girl's potential. And a waste of this baby. You know, whatever he's going to grow up to be is probably going to be beneath his potential because he's going to grow up with a mom who doesn't want him, who resents him. And every person on Reddit that has said they grew up with a regretful parent says they could tell the whole time. They always knew. She goes on, at this moment, I feel like shit. Thank you for reading. I really needed to vent because I feel like all I wanted is to end my life and I can't take it anymore. I'm extremely depressed. And one of the mods, who has since deleted their account, said, everyone here is going to ask or suggest this, so let's just say it, adoption. If you have no one in your life, partner, family, pressuring you to keep this child you don't want, you're well within your rights to put the child up for adoption when it's born. You are well within your rights, regardless of anyone pressuring you. It's your child. If the partner doesn't want the child given up, you can sign your rights over to that partner. Well, in a lot of countries you can. She goes on, if you do have people in your life pressuring you to keep this child you don't want, then you're still within your rights to give that child up for adoption when it's born. Tell those people to kick rocks and blow bubbles. You're 22. You can still have all of those dreams. You can still achieve great things. You still have time. Look into the resources in your country. See if your doctor or hospital can help point you in the right direction. Take care of yourself mentally and emotionally during this difficult time. You're doing the best you can, and if you could do better, then you would. Yes, and the best that you can do is give this baby up for adoption to people who really, really want a baby. That would be the best. And the OP responded, thank you. I really thought a lot about adoption, but in the country where I live, it is not so accessible. I have come to think about leaving the baby to the father and leaving. He has suggested the option because he knows that I do not want to be a mother. Well, there you go. And I trust him because although he is not a good couple, I know that he will be a good father. Actually, you don't know that. But if that's how you feel, then bing, bang, boom, that's the way you need to go, ma'am. But I simply could not continue my life. I think to some extent I would feel too much remorse. It is tough to be the person that does the non traditional thing. It's not for everybody. That's why it's not traditional, whatever it is. Someone else who deleted their account, you're also well within your rights to sign your parental rights away and pay child support to the father and still have the life you dream of. Let him have full custody. Sweetie, you're going to feel remorse regardless of the choice you make. Keeping a child you never wanted is lifelong remorse. The remorse you'll feel after choosing yourself and your life will be temporarily felt. Yeah, because it's clearly the best thing for the baby to be with someone who wants him. She wraps it up by saying, how is mental health treated or approached in your country? Is it available at all? Is getting mental health treatment frowned upon or taboo? Is it expensive? Man, I'd really love to know like how mental health treatment is still considered anything more than healthcare. Why it's frowned upon or why talking about it is taboo, why you're not allowed to have any mental illness. So bizarre. All right, next post is by user Ad Aromatic. That username sounds familiar to me. I want to say I've read posts of theirs before. Kids are used as a trap, and this is venting, no advice. Over the past few weeks, I've had a lot of family talk about how I need to be a good mom and provide a beautiful Christmas for my son, who is 11 months old, not even a year old yet. Upon me telling them that I will be working as I run a small business, so yeah, ain't no time off for self-employed. And this is a very demanding time of the year. I got a lot of negative feedback. Upon reassuring them that a baby has no idea or understanding that Christmas is a special day, they made a point to talk about my family commitments and the future, common things that were said. Well, by the time your son is old enough to remember Christmas, you will have finally moved back. Then we can help give your son a normal holiday while you choose to work. And you need to come back for family. Now that you have a kid, family shouldn't be more important. Now that you have a kid, family should be more important. You need to help. You need the help with the baby anyway. Then you won't rely on sticking him in daycare for 11 hours. And your son deserves a normal family Christmas. Move back home so we can help you. I moved 14 hours away for a reason. Yes, I can say the same. I moved 2,000 miles away from where I grew up for a damn good reason. She goes on, my family loves to push boundaries and try to control my life. I felt like I could finally have a healthy relationship with my family within the years of living states away. When I first found out I was pregnant, I knew I did not want a kid. Oh God, here we go. My family started out kindly reassuring me that it's pregnancy anxiety and that it's normal to feel that way. And I will change my mind once the baby is born and be so in love, etc., etc., etc. Now she says she did not, all caps, not want a kid. And yet her family essentially gaslit her, probably, with good intentions, but it's gaslighting. It's just more 20th century nonsense that we need to call out as nonsense because women know their own minds. Women who don't want children know that they don't want children. Women who want children know they want children. You don't see a woman who really, really wants to have kids get pregnant and have people say, are you sure? Are you sure? Because they assume, well, she knows she wants kids. Yeah, you gotta just like give credit to the women who don't want kids. Believe them. So she listened to the family, apparently. Then when I still denied it, saying I think I know what I want with my life, they upped the pressure and started calling me a family murderer. How I'll always regret killing an innocent life. So emotional blackmail. They got her to ruin her own life by having a child she didn't want, which also ruins that child's potential life, by using threats and emotional blackmail. They can call her the family murderer if they want. I mean, if they had a son that had a vasectomy, would they call him the family murderer? Maybe. These people sound whacked and religious. How I'll always regret killing an innocent life. Do you regret every bit of health care that you get? You know, you regret every period you get because that was a potential life? I mean, this is nonsense. I'm a shitty person. They'll never forgive me. I'm going to hell. There we go. I need to think about my husband. I need to think about my husband who wants the baby. The husband doesn't have to carry, labor, or deliver the baby. The husband isn't going to be the default parent like the woman always is. The husband did nothing to create the baby except get his rocks off. And he thinks that he's going to get his rocks off holding his child, and it's going to be picture perfect. That's going to be hell for you, lady. That's the real hell. She goes on, for whatever reason, I caved under this pressure and kept the pregnancy. For whatever reason, the reason is because most humans want the approval of their tribe because that keeps us safe. We are one of the group. I just said a little while ago, I think, it takes a lot of balls to be the person who goes their own way because you're going to get shit for it. She goes on. Now, after hearing a lot of pressure about how they want and expect me to move back to my home state, I realize everything had to do with control this whole time. Yep. They thought that I would feel morally obligated to be a part of the family. Nope. Both my husband and my family members were insecure about me leaving them, so they felt a baby would keep me tied down to the family. Excuse me while I go throw up. They used to brag about, holy shit. Her family members used to brag about baby trapping me until I flat out called them out for reproductive coercion and control. Yeah, that's straight up abuse. Someone tells you they don't want kids and you think it's funny to talk about them getting pregnant, unwanted, baby trapped. Fucking hilarious. Now, of course, everyone is trying to play nice because I am extremely close to just giving full custody and paying child support or whatever legal obligations I have. I've truly tried to be a decent human being. I've tried to do right by everyone. I understand that my son is innocent in all of this, and yet I find myself asking, how will I ever learn to love him when he's a representation of trauma, loss of autonomy, and control? I feel like I'm hitting a breaking point with family and friends in my life, and I just want out of all of it. Well, what's done is done here. I think she's right. The best thing she can do is sign over her rights and pay child support. I mean, it's just money, and it's a long time to pay it, but it is temporary. And how much better is that than being tied down with a child that you didn't want? It's really astounding how many families trick and coerce women into tying themselves down for life with a kid or more kids, and they don't do anything to help. It's like a joke because, of course, all women want kids, right? Like there's a magical thing that happens as soon as the baby gets spewed out. You instantly become a mom, and you become high on oxytocin, and you can't help but fall in love with your baby. And that is not true for everyone. It's true for a lot of women, and those are the women that should have kids probably, but it's not true for all of us. And that's what needs to be normalized, in my humble opinion. Okay, the comments on this one. LGH said, don't move to be near your family. It's so common to have a situation where parents beg their adult children to move back home so they can help with the grandchildren, only to do fuck all. Very true. Do not trust them. And the OP said, my mom has especially doubled down on this since my dad passed away 2 months ago. No one to control now. Oh, God. Oh, run, don't walk, ma'am. I mean, if I was her, I wouldn't even give access to the grandmother. She sounds like a nightmare. Water Oasis said, I know I'll get downvoted for this, but I feel like giving up your rights in this situation is fair. When you've expressed along the way this is not what you wanted. So if you want, you could just pay child support and live your life. I've been in a similar position, but I don't know if I could live with that level of judgment on me every day. Well, it's best to remember that what other people think of you is none of your damn business. The OP said, I agree with you. What sucks is the state I live in is a red state. I've already gotten a lot of judgmental comments from attorneys upon trying to figure out what to do in my situation. And Water Oasis replied, I relate because I also live in a red state in the deep south. I've distanced myself from many of my friends because I'm just ashamed. Well, the shame is not yours. Not at all. That's all just societal brainwashing. It's your baby. If you know that you cannot give this baby the life it deserves, then you're doing the right thing signing your rights over. I've said before on this channel, I've been pregnant 3 times. The best thing I ever did for my children is not have them, not bring them into this world of suffering, not doom them to my genetics with addiction and all of that. Depression. That is the best thing I did for them, and no one will convince me otherwise. Ad Aromatic 372 said, don't you just love how red states love to use women's reproductive system to control them? Well, that's been going on for also tens of thousands of years, which is why women have figured out many, 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 many ways to rid themselves of unwanted pregnancies. And finally, this post is by user Centennial Incognito. And she says, my husband says I will deprive our daughter of having children. And it's a discussion. My husband and I have 2 children, and he's well aware I'm a regretful parent. I've told him I plan on keeping it real to our kids about the huge responsibility being a parent is. No arguments here. Let's all keep it real with younger people. It's not a magical thing for everyone. She goes on, I've also told him I wish I don't have grandchildren because I don't want to take part in raising them either. My daughter, who is 4, is very nurturing with her toys, and this comes natural to her. I've never imposed gender roles on my kids, but she likes to act like a mom, nurturing her toys as if they're her babies. I also know she's longing to have a pet to take care of, which I am refusing for now because, well, she's 4. I know most of the responsibility will fall on me as she's too young to properly care for one. My husband has made comments on how I'm going to basically pressure our daughter to not have children because of my own bias as a regretful parent. Yeah, that's bullshit as well because, sir, your daughter is going to grow up to be a woman who knows her own mind. And if she really wants to have kids, she will. Mind you, this man says he loves being a father, but he complains a whole lot about our children, the stress, the fights, the pickiness with the damn food, and I've expressed I just want her to have the whole picture of motherhood and pregnancy before committing to a lifelong decision. Boy, she's the brains of that operation. She goes on, children are far more serious than a marriage and even a career, y'all. You can ditch a spouse or change careers if it doesn't work. But you can't do that with kids. They're yours forever. And that can be a good or a bad thing depending on your situation and how your children turn out to be. Our oldest is autistic level 1, and she was referred to a neuropsychologist because of how emotionally sensitive she is. So she has to know she carries genes to have a potentially disabled child. It's like they deem me as crazy for preparing them, both of our kids, for how hard parenting can be and truly is. I really don't wish this upon my worst enemy. How bizarre that here this woman is being honest with her children and being real and being present with them and sharing her life with them and her opinion and not bullshitting them and treating them as idiots. And yet society has a problem with that because we've been gaslighting women for so long to get them to have kids, because if they knew everything it involves, they wouldn't do it. Or most of them wouldn't do it. Many of them wouldn't do it. And for some reason, society is afraid of that. God forbid we got too many women with their own mind running around here. And Drusilla said, "Oh, please," aimed at the husband. "Your daughter may want to have children just to be contrary." You are doing the right thing being honest with her, in my opinion. What she does with that when she is of age will be up to her, and it can go either way. At least your conscience will be clear that you did not romanticize motherhood. She will get enough of that with advertising and movies. Yep. Truth Several said, "Yeah, society romanticizes the shit out of it and puts extra pressure on women. You will be the minority opinion in her life. It's actually you being a good mother by warning her." I second that. Penny Bunn said, "More people, women especially, need to hear the kinds of things you're going to tell your children." Oh God, please, yes, normalize that. It's an act of love to warn them against the realities you faced so they can make the choice on whether to face them or not. You're a good mom for that. And Sage of Beige said, "The difference between a toy and a pet or a kid is when she's watching telly, trying to do arts or crafts, the toys and pets aren't crying for attention. I have 4 kids, 1 human, 1 demon wrapped in human skin, and 2 made of cat. The eldest is working. The demon wrapped in human skin has multiple disabilities. She wanted 4 kids. I, being supportive and encouraging, got 4 motion sensor dolls and 3 crying baby dolls and would set them up at the most inconvenient times for her. She could take the batteries out. She's now adamant she's not having kids. My son is adamantly child-free." Okay, so the son is the human and the daughter is the demon wrapped in human skin who is disabled. Okay, sir, carry on. "My son is adamantly child-free. If you want a taste of a baby, I'll lend you a cat. She will wake you regularly throughout the night for food and play. And the cat is taken to the park every night." Well, I'm certainly glad to hear that. As long as the cats are happy, that's all that matters. And that's what I have for you today, guys. So let me know what you think about these stories. Are you someone, or do you know someone who was coerced and controlled by their family into keeping a baby they didn't want? Are you someone who comes from a family like that and you wanted to be child free and no one was going to change your mind? Let me know what you think. Anyway, if you like this video, please like it. Please do hit the subscribe button. I so appreciate it. We are working our way up to 3,000 subs. And I sure appreciate everyone who stops by to hear me talk shit on the internet. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much.